what to expect.
Yes, I do.
I got a copy of it.
I got it.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure you guys got yours.
Yep, okay. Jeff, how are you?
How are you?
Come on up somewhere in one of those.
We can put the stuff there if you want. Yeah.
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 Well, I'm better, I'll have it back here.
Okay, just kinda so we were understanding here that, it's been referred to us from the town board, you have applied for a planned development district for lands that house your safari. That land currently is in, business in the front, about 300 feet, and the back is agriculture, at this point. You wish to carry out a commercial activity that involves all of that, and what you're doing is changing the zone. It becomes a PDD. In that process, it becomes specific for what the activity is that you're wanting to do. And that's what you're applying for at this point. Okay, we sent you some material, okay? And outlined kind of some of what the concerns and things that we were gonna go through. So we've kind of got a list of things here that we'll kind of throw out there, and things that we want to discuss with you. Let me get my paperwork here eventually together. Okay, the first thing is the application, or kind of the lack thereof of a formal application. We have a map that you gave us, and we have a brief narrative that you also prepared that came in with a map. That's correct, right? Okay. Now, Council Lange had produced for you a preliminary development plan. And, like so. Okay, you have that.
Yep.
And he listed a number of things that normally would be in an application to the town board. We're using their application. And then there's a lot of blanks in there. They're all highlighted in yellow.
Yep.
Okay, those things all need to be completed, or this is a working piece, this is a suggestion, you can rewrite this anywhere you want in the scope of this, and include all that information. That would need to be done, at least initially. Okay?
I have most of the dimensions, I went and measured everything and recorded everything.
Beg your pardon?
I have most of the dimensions, I went and recorded everything. The one I didn't get was the house, because that was up front, I didn't consider that part of the project area.
Where are we talking, Jeff?
The existing structures of the second page.
Okay?
So I have all of the structures within Safari area, because that's what I thought.
But that's all gonna be in the PDD.
Okay, so the parking lot becomes part of this PDD.
Sure does.
also. And I know that was a question you had, and I will address that on the line, it was about the parking being our overflow.
Mm-hmm.
And, how it would overflow, because there is a plan for that. I don't know if you want me to go into that now, or,
We'll get into that.
okay.
But okay. Yeah, all of the property, which, in fact, on your map, you have that house. That house is
Yeah.
listed, okay? So, But this is, you're gonna have to complete, at least minimally, I would say, complete this as part of an application. So we have that for openers. Now, you also, you're doing a full environmental form here. This is
Yeah,
gonna be a
I-
type 1 action, and we're gonna declare ourselves, we aren't, town board is their lead agency, they will review this, but there's a lot of holes in this. And John filled some of this out, this needs to be done, and then, of course, if anything you don't agree with, you gotta change.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
done.
Is that all done?
Mhm.
That's all complete,
Yep.
okay? All right? Now, if you look at the map, okay, now, the board has little maps, and I've got a big one, okay? And this is what I'm referring to at this point. This map is gonna need, again, we're still working on the idea of an application. And this map needs to be upgraded to have the information that would be necessary would be included in the PDD. And, you've got I got a laundry list of things here that you can write down. What we could do, Jeff, which I think would be reasonable, that in the next day or two, we can summarize what we did here tonight and give you that in a letter form. So that we said, we asked you for this, we asked you for that, or whatever it had to be. So that if you missed something while we're here at the meeting, that, we'll
Yeah,
hope.
no, I wanna make
help-
sure that I get
We'll
everything.
see if we can cover that and make that a little clearer, okay?
Yeah, I've already
So-
got like a lot of it, I'm gonna take them to change.
All right, well, let me just go through some things. You're gonna need to, you got the structures all numbered, but there's no legend. What are they? Okay? Some of these are just buildings, just structures out there. What are they? You need to have a legend along the line, and that's also for safety reasons. What's in there, if your quasi, you could have a need for emergency vehicles at some point, and they're gonna need to be able to identify where this is, and they're gonna have to have some kind of a map and a legend to go with that. And just like you did for other projects. All your structures, you're gonna have to have some dimensions on them. How big are they?
No question for the legend on them, they're all just barns.
Pardon?
They're all just barns.
Okay, then indicate that.
Just put barn on there instead of.
Barn, yeah, they're an open barn. They a closed barn, open barn, what are they?
Okay.
What is the dimension?
Are they barns for certain animals?
Well, style of it is as far as it's a mix of species out together, so there's,
Are they just shelters, Jeff?
yes,
Well, then, that's what you said.
so animal shelter.
They're
barn.
shelters.
Dimensions on the shelters,
Yeah, I've got all
General
that right
descriptions.
here, so I'm gonna have Forrest change it.
and then you
Sure.
said, Frank, you wanna see a legend like we did with
Sure.
the zoo, I think you required buildings being numbered for safety response.
Which they're all numbered on this plan, already started out that way, yeah.
Now, when I think legend, I think on the side of the map, like a symbol.
Yeah.
That's right.
What
You
would
just,
you have for a
you
symbol
just,
for a
you-
barn?
Pardon?
But if you just label it on the map, animal shelter.
Number one, here's the legend, buildings, number
What's
one.
that? So you
Number
want
two,
a
number
number
three.
of buildings, and then the
Yeah.
next one, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be that. Dimensions, now, there's no room at this point for any pull-offs on your road.
The whole thing is one giant pull-off.
So in other words, you're saying they can drive off into the field, off the road, no matter where?
Yeah, I have a letter here from fireman. From the Chicago Volunteer Fire Department, that I took him around. That I took him around and showed him everywheres so that he could see.
Okay.
And he basically concluded that everywhere is accessible on the property.
Okay? In the end, we're gonna have the EMTs sign off on your map anyway. Okay, so, that's good. But, you got, you know, right now it's dry as dry and there's no problem. But let's say it's, we had a June like we had last June. That may not be where a regular road car could actually pull off the side, especially if animals are trampled it or done whatever you got. So, I mean, do we think that that's gonna be necessary down the road? I don't know, but that's something that probably should be shown here, that where patrons can get off the road if an emergency vehicle has to come through, or something of that
There's a lot of
nature.
spots where, if you look where the road widens, where it's double width and stuff. So
Is there? Well, then you can show that dimensionally on your map, on your roads.
Is there any reason why this letter comes from the Chittenango Fire Department? Because the assistant chief says it should be noted this property falls under the jurisdiction of the North Chittenango Fire Company.
Because I wanted to get as much information as I could for you guys.
Well,
to
they'll
read.
have a chance to look.
And
Let's follow it. So you wanna give us as much information? How does that relate to my question about the North Chittenango Fire Department?
it relates because I went and got a fireman who's been a fireman for 15 years in Chittenango.
And this fireman says that this is the jurisdiction of the North Chittenango Fire Department, right?
That's right, it's correct. He's been a chief in Chittenango. He's got a lot of knowledge and I wanted to have information.
Is he speaking for the North Chittenango Fire Company?
Clearly he's not. And
Okay.
this is an issue that I'm gonna have is there's a little bit of combative nature
Yeah,
from the
we'll get him to go
attorney
to the.
towards me. And you were with the judge also. I'm trying to work positive for it. I wanna do what I'm told. I'm trying to.
Okay,
grow it.
Jeff, we're moving on. So, we need to probably address that some way. If you think that you've got road widths in places that would accommodate two vehicles,
Yep.
then indicate that. Indicate that on the map, okay? Something along that line. Now, the other thing is, what we could gather, the delineation of the wetlands and our information doesn't coincide. So we're gonna need to, first I think we'll ask you and your people to research that again and
So-
justify where the wetland line is.
I paid $10,000 to have that wetland line designated on the map when Larry Ball falsely reported me to the DEC numerous times.
Okay.
So
Alright,
that
okay,
is
then
the
we're
line.
gonna have to work on that because our research doesn't indicate that that's where it is.
Well, a neighbor with Larry just reported me last week and the DEC came out and also saw that that is where the line is.
Okay, well, we may have to have that, we may have to look, we may have
Let's
to
just
look at.
confirm it. We'll just confirm it, and then there
Yeah,
won't be a
well, that's
question.
all. We just need to get that
So
confirmed.
what would be confirmed here? This is my
Well,
question.
you said that you paid $10,000 to get the wetlands
So we-
located.
Delineated
Let's
it.
take
Did they do
let's,
soil
we'll get the
testing?
delineation then. Give us
Yeah,
the
we
delineation.
need documentation on that.
I'll have my engineer send it to you.
Yeah, we need to have some documentation to that. Okay, now you also need to probably show some landscaping, screening somewhere along the line, if they're necessary here with, along the neighbors' lines. You know, that type of thing. So there,
That was mentioned before.
What was that?
That was mentioned before, they was gonna do screenings.
From when?
I did all those, that was along the road, and I installed the landscape beds, and I installed the trees that were requested all along Lakeport Road.
well, anything that, you know, we're going, and again, this is maybe something that's going to evolve here, because, you know, what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna kinda lay out the issues that we see at this point, and then give you the opportunity to respond to those things fairly, and then, in next month, we'll see where we are with those things. Okay? Now, we need a calculation for disturbed lands in here. You've built roads, ponds,
I didn't build any ponds, that keeps getting brought up.
I'm sorry, they're here.
They were here 5 years ago.
They still will be included in this, in your calculations, all
Right.
roads,
Well,
buildings.
we already went through that with the town
Will,
board,
we
and that
still
was-
need a
that was
calculation
separate-
that will show us that.
That's not part of this project disturbance, that doesn't.
I
make
believe it
sense.
is.
It's not.
Okay,
because that was years ago, and it's no different than a property that you own years in advance. Because I talked to my engineer about this, you don't have a life sentence on the
But-
property. If you put a pond in, it doesn't become part of the calculation 15 years later, 5 years later, it's all.
I'm not sure about that. We're gonna, we'll give us a calculation for what you think you deserve then. And then we'll have to see where we are with that.
Well, if his engineer has said that, his engineer could supply something
Sure.
to back up what
Absolutely.
he's saying, and we can look at that and show it to our
Sure,
engineer.
and he can give us the reason why ponds are excluded.
Not that they're excluded, just that they were a different project. It's like if you're farmland, you do a pond 5 years ago, and then years later.
Okay, then he'll have to
totally
explain,
separate
he'll have to,
project that doesn't
he
all
can
fall
explain that,
apart.
yeah. Then you're gonna have a professional that's gonna make a statement about that. Okay? And of course, that would be, that's to determine, any need here for speedies and, a SWIP on this.
Yeah, so we have to confirm whether a SWIP is actually needed.
That's
or not.
correct.
That's really the key.
That's correct. Okay, the parking lot use. Now, we approved that parking lot as a ancillary parking area for your other property, the zoo. Now, now it's being used as a staging area for this particular activity. How are we gonna reconcile that?
Well, at the beginning of when we opened, everything was closed as part of COVID. And that's when we used the parking lot because it was the only thing to do. Now it's leveled off as I anticipated, and I have we did a traffic study from the day we opened up until yesterday of the amount of cars, the average cars per hour, and how many lanes in the parking lot we used. And it started out 10 to 12 to 15 lanes, 1 to 2 on weekdays. And in the end, you can see the numbers drop to 1 to 2 lanes. And there's plenty of room to use those 1 to 2 lanes and still maintain the overflow parking lot. So anticipated is maximum 3 lanes that we would ever need because we staged it. I know that the concern was the traffic was opening. We had no traffic issues at all the entire time based on how we staged it. But now with normal traffic, the zoo open, somewhat of normalcy, the most we really use is 2 lanes. And I've never used the back side of the barn really for parking. I can move the 2 lanes back there with plenty of room, or I can have them on the front side where I'm going through now and do parking on the back side of the barn and have plenty of room still for overflow parking.
I think minimally then, we're gonna need to see that in a map type of thing and some narrative to go along with how that's doing. The other thing is we may need to have a traffic study done by an outsider here of some kind.
What would be, I mean, this
For
right here lays
all-
out all the real world numbers.
Yeah, but see, that's your figures.
That's just the truth.
But they're not, that they may be, sure, but they're not a unbiased report.
This isn't biased, this is factual numbers.
Well, we would require this from anybody else that we have.
That's
in the
right.
past. We don't accept it when people tell us for a commercial project that they've kept track themselves.
Okay, so I'm gonna
So we may have to look at all of Lakeport Road, the total distance. Now, while we're on that parking lot, you got an issue with dust.
There is no issue with dust.
There is, because we got
There
pictures,
was a neighbor that reported to you with false pictures. I went behind their house. They have sheds, they have everything. There was no dust on it. They had a stone dusty driveway. We were in a drought for, I don't know, a month. And there was minimal dust in
well,
my
you're
parking
gonna have
lot.
to find some mitigation plan to keep the dust down, to do something along the line.
We don't have an issue with dust.
Well, we're saying we still want a mitigation plan for a dirt driveway. Just isn't gonna.
It's not a dirt, it's gravel. It's clean.
Okay,
stone.
come up with a mitigation plan of something in order to dampen that dust as needed. We got documentation, there is dust.
Well,
So,
you have a picture of a car that wrote wild dust on the window that said it came from Safari, which was a all-out lie. I mean, I have neighbors that are making up false
okay,
information.
well, okay. That's yours, but we're looking for some plan for the mitigation of the dusty roads. And it can go all the way to total paving,
$150,000.
okay? But, you know, we wanna see what you wanna offer for that mitigation. But it
Well,
does
no,
work.
I'm confusing them there every day, and I just haven't seen it.
Okay.
That's why.
All right, now, again, that whole thing kind of all melds together for the traffic control as to how you're gonna deal with traffic from coming, there's an overflow from one way and into that same area, and how you're gonna deal with, and you've already offered, hey, I've got so many lanes that can handle this, et cetera, et cetera. We need to see that on a map, show us on a map, give us some text response to how that would work. So we've got something that, you know, we just can't go by a say-so, I will do this, I will do that. Another thing you're gonna have to look at is your animal waste. You're gonna have to get your manure piles somewhere away from these residences.
We haul all animal waste off-site to my farms, down the road on New Boston.
Okay, well,
We temporarily dump it in a pile, and I'm actually in the process of, I was gonna build a nice concrete bin, so it's easy to scrape off, easy to clean up.
well, then why don't you show us, that's the mitigation, why don't you show us where that bin is gonna be? You know, you're gonna build a bunker for, you're gonna build a bunk for it for temporary storage, where it's gonna be in relation on your property, and place
Frequency
that,
of it
place
hauled
that
out.
on the map.
We
I'm
need to
sorry.
know the frequency of when it'll be hauled out.
Sure. Okay, signage, we've seen no mention of any signage.
Is there sign rules? Because
Yep.
I don't know, my neighbors must not follow it, because of code enforcement officers, they have signs down my Safari.
No, there's
the back of the Safari, the road.
there's nothing to do with that.
There's 30 signs in 4 properties, so, I mean, I have no problem doing the sign thing, but I'd like something to be done about, I mean, if they.
There
want
is
to
no
put
sign, there is no law to deal with that.
So they can
What,
have as many
what they
signs
can,
as they want.
they can do that on a temporary basis. That's been pretty much standard operation in town, just what goes along with political signs and stuff like that. They can't be there forever, but, yeah. But if you want a permanent sign, we need to see that, we need to see an elevation of it, that type of thing.
I mean, it probably should, the smartest thing would be put it right on the map and just have, as you said, a key for the different signs of where they're
But you'd also
located,
need,
and the sizes and all that.
we also
yeah.
need a good elevation of the sign, pictures.
Right.
that we got. Alright, we'd like to see copies of your current permits with USDA and DEC. I think we've asked for this
And I'll
several
give
times.
them to you numerous times. I always, whenever you ask me, I give it to you, but I have.
Oh, really? They always skip by me, Jeff,
I
I've never
always
really
drop
seen
them
it.
off down at Larry's office,
Oh,
so maybe
okay,
that's what I want.
well, we need to know, and we also need to know, do they pertain to this property?
They license me, myself, for
Okay,
my properties.
all right.
As you'll see, my USDA license lists me as a Class C exhibit, so.
Right, but aren't they they're an annual issue?
Right there, you see the expiration it's annual, and I get renewed, and my inspector inspects all my properties.
Okay,
They are the governing body for.
so this one expires this month, 2 days.
What, I mean, I'll get it.
2020, this is July 22nd, 2020, expiration.
Right,
And
which,
so you'll get a new one.
I'll renew,
You'll
yeah.
get a new one. Well, that's what we want.
I have to.
And we'd want that, and if you also have, DEC oversight with some of your animals, then we would need the similar,
Right now, I've been trying to get, copies right now, it's like that, I had to call my USDA agent today and talk to her because COVID has everything, all these
Yep.
offices found out.
Okay.
DEC can't get a hold of them right now, so.
Okay, well, that's what we're looking for, those current ones. How about outdoor lighting? We don't see anything here.
We're never open at night, so I didn't think the neighbors would like.
Okay, So you're gonna have none, that's gonna be the answer, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
so it's-
And the other thing that we had here on our
Wait a
initial,
minute,
yes,
wait a
I'm
minute,
sorry.
Wait a minute. Weren't the neighbors all in here last fall before he closed and said the lights were disturbing them?
That's from the zoo.
and
Yes,
then-
but here's Sherry, you're on to the
Yeah.
point that if you're gonna dual use this lot, then just because the safari is not open at night, the other project might be open at night, and if this lot is being used for that, then there's gonna be lights there.
My mistake.
The most amusing part about that is those lights have never been turned on one time.
Beg your pardon?
The
I
lights have
said-
never been turned
The,
on.
the neighbors said that the lights were so bright, and those lights have never been turned on a single time.
Okay. There are lights there now,
The only lights that have turned
The
on. are
ones on the
that have
barn.
been there for.
the ones on the barn.
years.
They need to be shown on the barn, they need to be depicted. If those are the only lights on the site. And you're not proposing any more,
On which barn?
where the lights?
Safari. The
Safari,
safari
Safari,
stuff.
there's no lights on the buildings on the Safari.
Even that barn.
There's lights,
There's no lights.
how about the barn in the parking lot? Are there not lights on that barn?
Not that.
What,
not
what
that-
lights that parking lot now?
There are no lights in that
There
barn.
are no lights?
No, the old barn has like a motion light that's been there for 30 years.
The big
That's it.
two-story barn?
Yeah, just that one.
But the old riding stable, what lights that parking lot now? Weren't you gonna use that parking lot at night?
The street lights are what light it.
Just the street
We
lights.
used temporary lights one year and Ryan used like.
So there's no
Yeah, but
permanent
also
lights
he-
in anywhere there? And there doesn't intend to be?
Well, you said there's one on the barn.
If
What-
I-
there's a-
With the
there's-
old one on the barn, the old
If
spot.
I intend to, I would put it on the map and give you guys to approve it first.
Okay, alright. And then I said, I think we want to make sure that the local first responders and the ambulance people, you know, have a look at this and see if they have any concerns about that. We know nothing about the road construction, you know, what that would support, if you ever had to get anything back in there, no idea. You know, I mean, and I think minimally, you know, there needs to be safe havens here for at least people that don't get stranded or emergency people. I mean, right now, as you say, you can drive anywhere you want.
No, well, you drive
But
the road,
you-
we have people out there watching, we have personnel in each pasture. the
But I'm
entire
saying,
time.
if you need to, in
You're
an
saying you're building
emergency
shelters for
situation,
people?
pardon?
Building a shelter for people?
No. You're talking about the parking, you're talking about access to the, off the road in the case of an emergency.
She's talking about in the Safari.
Right,
Sure.
Yeah.
right.
So, no, I'm trying to understand what you're saying, you have to have a safe haven for them, to where they can pull over.
Right.
Okay, that's, yeah, there's, I'll have them show up, but each pasture has double lane areas that are wide enough for people to pull
Okay,
over.
yeah, see, there's no dimensions here, so we can't tell.
So, yeah, what are the widths of the roads that are already built, do we know?
No?
There's 12 foot through most of it, and then the double lane areas are 20 foot.
So, and that's on, I didn't see that on the plan that was
No,
done.
you
by-
don't.
Well,
by
that's what you
Forrest.
said, that there's no dimensions listed,
Yeah.
but, I mean, they pointed out, so I can just have them put where it's 20 foot, roads and that's what it's about. So I can have them, maybe what I'll do is have them, like, shade the sections that are 20 foot, and then the other sections that aren't shaded will be 12 foot.
Sure, key it up, that's good, that works.
And then.
As long as there's some indication of what's there.
And then who's doing that calculation of the disturbance?
Yeah, I don't know.
For the road?
I'll have to have my engineer, I know that's.
Yeah,
a hang-up.
okay. All right, board, did we cover what we wanted to at this point?
I think so.
I have a plan for waste disposal typed out. I thought you wanted a lot of this tonight, so I was trying.
Oh, we do, we want as much as you had.
Right. So, here's a plan for waste disposal. I put on there as far as trash or recycling, it really doesn't generate waste. the only waste that we sell feed cups to feed the animals, and we recycle those, so any minimal waste that's generated, we do have 3 dumpsters on the dual purpose
Okay.
facilities.
But those kind of facilities need to be shown on the map here too, Jeff, see?
So we want to-
Anything at all that's in there. I think we're not even sure that some of the aerials don't quite match up with what you have here. You know, make sure that whatever buildings are in there that they have been shown.
Probably wanna get the frequency of moving it off-site, so it does say the waste will be moved off-site if it's not spread. on
It
site.
varies, I mean, sometimes there's gonna be more waste, sometimes there'll be less, I would say when it's necessary, the bin has enough to scoop into it. In general, the safari itself doesn't generate a lot of waste, so what we do is we'll drag it and it kind of refertilizes the grounds. The waste that is there is from the zoo itself, that's why it's been there. And I know my neighbor sent you a picture of the pile, when that was just with the hecticness of getting the zoo open itself, I got a little delayed, so the pile was just got a little bigger there, but that pile has since been moved off, so we moved that immediately. So that pile's gone, there's a small pile there, but we could move it frequently.
Jeff, the copy that you gave us here, is that ours to keep?
Yeah.
This one? Okay, so we're looking for, by the next month, you'll have the new one. You'll have your one,
As long as I talked to her today, and they're not even allowed to go in their offices, so.
Okay,
As long as there's.
well,
still-
that, and we should have a DEC,
Process,
it's
yeah.
something from DEC?
As long as they can
Okay,
send it out to me,
all right.
I mean.
Alright,
there's
well,
an
when you get those.
Some delays. I mean, I've never let any permits, it seems like there's a question of my permits. I know Mr. Lange contacted DC, I've never let my permits lapse. I've had my permits for 10 years now, and I'm in good standing. I'm known as one of the nicest private zoos in the nation. We've never had any issues.
Okay.
I've never contacted the DEC.
Oh,
I know you said
no,
that,
the
but
bill
I
says
haven't done
something.
that.
Oh, they was on the SWIFT form.
I didn't contact anybody who's with you.
Oh, no, it says something about DEC.
No, sir. Doesn't matter, I mean, you said it out loud, so I need to correct you for the record, but I've never contacted the DEC about any of your projects. Have they contacted me? That's a different question. So, does that cover it all?
Well, it's a start, once we get a good site plan, I think, and then, we get some of this other stuff addressed and see where Jeff wants to go with that.
Right.
Then I think we can react to that, but I think the major salient points we hit at this point.
Is there any comment about the, use of the shoulder of the road between the adjoining property? Is that part of any of the?
Well, that may be
traffic
part of a
considerations?
traffic,
That's
we may have to we're waiting for a little more input on that one. And we'll have to see how we get down that road.
What's that in regards to,
Access between your two properties using the shoulder of the road,
as far as,
traffic concerns,
The vehicles.
vehicles,
right, the vehicles aren't using that.
yes they are.
What vehicles?
ATVs come off the zoo, go to the safari, vice versa.
Yeah, we use the vehicles for,
Yeah, I mean, they're riding on the shoulder of the road. I personally witnessed one of your vehicles driving into the driving lane because another vehicle was coming the other direction. So I'm just saying that should be
so
addressed.
I'm probably not gonna be able to use that,
No, I'm just saying it needs to be addressed.
what aspect of the code, so that.
I think he means he observed an unsafe condition.
Right.
No, I understand that, and I talked to my employees about being safe
Right.
about doing that, because I don't want anybody at risk.
Right, that's all I'm saying. I mean, I was just
But
a
I mean,
casual
it's-
driver going down the road and I
Right.
observed that. I consider that to be a concern. And it's just a matter that if we're addressing all these other issues, that's something that should be put on the table, in my opinion.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we're done for tonight. We'll see you on the 4th. we don't have a hearing. There's no hearing with us. All we do is we get to a point wherever that is, that we write our report to, the town board, and, that's it.
When's the public hearing?
Public hearing is up to the town board. I have no idea when they're due.
The process, Mr. Taylor, is, as it was with the last one we did, is it comes to this board on the referral. The board hears about your project and they issue spot and they get information back from you. They take all that, they look at it, then they collect their thoughts and they issue a recommendation back to the town board regarding the zone change that you requested for the PDD. And then the board acts on that, and before they can act on it, they have to schedule a public hearing to allow the public to comment on your proposed PDD. And then after that, and after they complete the environmental review process for the project, that's when they'll be able to vote on the project at that point. And then, as we mentioned before, the final plan development plan per the regulations as outlined in the letter, makes one final trip back to the planning board to take care of all the niceties of what the town board had approved.
It's after the town board.
It's after the town board. Yes.
Now, what I was told at special meetings to move this process along?
No, I think the boards are open to having special meetings.
I think, after you get next month, that'll be a call you can make.
Now, question, why was this meeting not on Zoom or YouTube or?
Can't tell you.
Well, I can tell you because we do the Zoom meetings if there's nobody allowed in to come in here. But right now, you're the applicant, you're allowed to be here. So we've called every applicant in one at a time. Before, with Zoom meetings, the board members were sitting in their houses or wherever, doing their meetings on 5 different cameras.
But you're only allowing myself in here and some people that are visiting.
This is being taped, it's being taped, it's on video. Now, the problem is, Jeff, the vehicle by which this can be accessed by the public, that's not clear to us right now. But hopefully within the next couple of weeks, that will be, but that's the intent. Everything tonight, everything we did all night long is taped and there, and we'll make some kind of a.
How can I get a copy of that?
Beg your pardon?
How can I get a copy?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that I do not know that at this point. But within the next week or so, we will know that.
But this meeting right now was taped.
Yes.
Beg your pardon, yes, yeah, there's your camera right there.
Okay. yes,
Smile.
yeah, I wanna get a copy of it.
Okay, yep, it's taped and there's audio, yep. And, yeah, we'll be,
Do you want a copy of my traffic?
yeah, sure, absolutely.
Is there anything else?
Anything else?
I think so.
What's that?
Anything else?
No, not that I'm aware of right now, tonight. So, you know, you come back with some more stuff and, then we'll go from there.
All right, then you'll have something written up for me, you said?
Yeah, okay, yeah. And I'll try to do that in the next couple of days.
Okay.
And get it out, a little list, and it'll be basically what the minutes are gonna be,
Okay.
okay?
Is there any way of requesting that the codes officer isn't working in conjunction with the neighbors? Because that has been a problem.
In what way?
With assisting them with contacting the DEC and reporting me falsely.
They have every right, Jeff, to do whatever,
But
we
I
can't
understand
control
that
that.
when your codes officer is pushing them along and giving them information, it's just,
It's just a normal exchange that happens in every town there is where people are asking questions about businesses and other uses. There's no
Right,
barriers
they're
to
just-
intent there.
there's definitely, there's been a history of it. I just wanna work positive going forward. It's hard to work positive when you've got a codes officer that keeps harassing and coming after you in any way they can, so.
Yeah, so this board will keep it to sort of the facts of what's in their control and the rest of it, you know, you can write a letter to the town if you wish to do something of that nature.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, yeah, any,
I'll have follow-up with the codes guys with some of the stuff that's been submitted. I've got questions about some of the information that's come in. We just gotta look at it. We haven't seen it. We
No.
gotta analyze it, you know, the
Some of this
traffic counts
I
themselves.
may
we can
have to
talk
call
more
you,
about
I've,
that later,
I've,
but they're
I've,
just raw
I've-
numbers.
I've read this, and I don't
Yep.
understand exactly who, you know, where, who's on first.
Yeah.
You want this thing from Charles?
No, we gotta close the meeting first.
That's our.
Okay, all right, let's do that. Have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Well, there'll be no business conducted after we close the meeting.
No
If
business.
anybody has legal questions for me, I'm still here. That's outside of the open meeting.
No business, and, Chick-fil-A, we've got, oh, no, I guess we don't. All right, can we have a motion, can we have a vote to approve? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye,
We're
aye.
good.
Should I take my mask off now?